HBO has officially announced the adult cast for its upcoming Harry Potter TV series, confirming several roles and actors we've discussed, along with some new additions. John Lithgow will portray Albus Dumbledore. Janet McTeer is cast as Minerva McGonagall. Paapa Essiedu takes on Severus Snape, and Nick Frost will play Rubeus Hagrid. Rubeus, is that right?
Rubeus.
Thank you.
Sorry, the Potterheads will come after us.
Yeah, no, I don't know that I knew his first name. And Nick Frost will play Rubeus Hagrid. Additionally, Luke Thallon has been cast as Professor Quirinus Quirrell. I don't know these first names well. Apparently, I got through read these books and did not really get these first names well. Quirinus Quirrell and Paul Whitehouse will portray Argus Filch. Casting, man, we're going to be doing so many stories, and I'm going to have to read these Harry Potter names. At least I don't have to do the spells or whatever. Casting for the central trio, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, is still underway with over 32,000 children auditioning for these iconic roles. The series is set to begin filming in summer 2025, aiming for a 2026 premiere. Are we enchanted by the adult cast so far?
Yeah, like you said, we already knew the big ones here. There were not any huge reveals. We've already, in various lightning round stories, talked about the four main ones, which are Dumbledore and McGonagall and Hagrid and Snape, and all of the rumored castings that the trades were reporting back then were all confirmed. So it is nice to have it officially confirmed by HBO. They've been kind of radio silent anytime one of these casting rumors has come out. They've just never confirmed them. So it is good to finally have the confirmation. I actually like all of these roles. I know that the Snape one is a little kind of up in the air with people who are fans of this material because, you know, of just the difference in the look of the actor versus Snape, but from the movies. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think it's, I don't know. I like the casting. I think like you're trying to cast young enough to where these aren't older people to the point where you can't keep them around for a decade. So I think skewing a bit younger. So like Paapa Essiedu and Janet McTeer and Nick Frost and you know, John Lithgow's kind of old, but I mean, he is Dumbledore, but those three at least, like you're skewing a little younger. And I think that you have to, I mean, you're talking about a decade plus commitment to make this series. So you have to skew a bit younger. So it's just, you know, are the characters going to look a little bit different? Of course they will, because you have to keep them around for so long. So I think like that's something you always have to consider here. The Quirrell casting and the Filch casting are new. These are minor-ish characters. I mean, Quirrell is a bigger character in the first book, but you know, Filch is kind of a side character throughout most of the movies. And at the end of the day, you know, the three kids who are going to portray the main roles, that's going to be the story, right? Like that's going to be when it finally happens. That's the one that's going to beg a lot of conversation. The 32,000 kids is crazy because that's not just 32,000 kids. Like you got to hear it right. That's not just 32,000 kids applied. That's that they reviewed 32,000 kids for these roles. So they talked about it in this confirmation announcement. They talked about how they basically like went through hundreds a day. Like they were just literally going through like hundreds and hundreds. And I just can't imagine doing like 100 viewings of a kid that kind of looks like Harry Potter and trying to like figure out what micro differences exist between them. Like, do you make a bracket? Do you like, I don't know how you do that because it seems like they would all run together after a while. It's like, oh, look, another kid in glasses and dark hair. Like, I don't know. So that'll be a fascinating conversation when we get to that point. And it should also be noted that they were asked in the announcement, like, what about Harry, Ron, Hermione? And they were kind of like, yeah, we're not there yet. Like, they didn't say what I expected them to say, which is, we're almost there. We got it. We kind of got it locked in. Just doing the final negotiations. I kind of because they're supposed to start shooting this thing soon. So I kind of expected, yeah, we're close. But they were basically like, we're not. So wow. I don't think we're that close, I guess, which is crazy to announcing that. But yeah, I mean, it's shaping up, and there's a lot of casting still to come for this. There's a lot of so much information has to come out about this before it actually comes out on HBO. So there's a lot to happen here with this, but this is a good start. I like this cast so far. I think it's pretty strong.
I hope that they just drop the kids announcements one day. I hope there's no leaks and we don't get a maybe this is gonna be it.
Oh,
like
yeah,
we've
that would
been
be weird.
I want it to just be like boom, this is it. And I hope they're lying to us about we're
all
not
at
close.
once.
Like you have to be close. You have to be at this point.
You know, there's some publicists out there being like, let's leak that my kid is Harry so that he gets some like eyes on him before whatever.
Yeah. We're not doing another Fantastic Four situation over here.
Right.
God, no.
Yeah. I do look at this lineup of characters though, and I think it is telling in terms of like what the production on the show is going to look like. And it makes sense. You're going to want to get the faculty of Hogwarts in place because the majority of the season is going to take place in Hogwarts. The majority of the special effects are going to happen at Hogwarts. So, and when we eventually do get these kids cast, they're going to have a good rapport and chemistry with these adult characters, because while Harry Potter is a story that's very focused on the juveniles, the adults are very, very important, and even more so as the story goes on. So it is interesting that, we don't have the Dursleys cast at this point, but again, I think that just speaks to the fact that all the Hogwarts stuff is going to get shot first, then they'll go back and do the opening sequences and whatnot. But yeah, I like everybody in this cast. I'm obviously a lot more familiar with John Lithgow and Nick Frost than I am Janet McTeer or Paapa Essiedu, but I think every single one of these. Oh, and actually, I'm not familiar at all with Paul Whitehouse or what's this other guy, Luke Thallon. But with the pedigree that seems to be on display thus far, I have a lot of confidence in the casting that they're doing. So I think we're shaping up for a pretty quality series, no matter what your level of fervor or fandom is when it comes to the wizarding world.
Yeah. I think I'm most excited for Nick Frost. I think he's a great call for Hagrid. And just his vibe will be really good for Hagrid. He's been in, it seems like a lot of, since the days of the Cornetto trilogy, he's done a lot of a lot of smaller roles that like were kind of in this geeky space, and I think that just seems like a passion of his. So I think he'll attack that with all of his might and be a good Hagrid. I'm pumped for him. You just watched a clip from Multiverse News. If you liked it, go to our channel. We got a whole episode that it comes from. So go check that out and hit the like and subscribe. And we got lots of clips you'll enjoy, but also full hour-long episodes of Multiverse News with lots of things that don't even make it to clips. So check us out.
You stay clippy.